Cursed Hollow, map number 1. Gunnars on against Inting for Ruby. It's actually kind of interesting because we have a sub-player for Inting for Ruby here in the losers bracket now, and it is Gunnars. So Gunnar is now playing against Gunnars on. That's not going to be confusing at all. Either way, it's best of 5, everybody. We have Cursed Hollow as our first map, and it is, well, the last series of the day before we're heading into the final day of the playoffs. Now, as this is the losers bracket, it means that whoever loses this series is out of the tournament. Gunnars on, they got smacked around a little bit in the winners bracket, let's be honest about it. The chili donuts are just insanely strong, or at least that's what it seems like. They were successful against the hardos, then they moved on to the semifinals of the winner bracket and defeated Gunnars on without even dropping a map, and find themselves now in the winner bracket final against Team Wah. And we're going to focus on that tomorrow, but for today we have one more best of 5 left, and that's the one at hand here. So Gunnars on, they need to prove that they can take down Inting for Ruby and move on to the next round of all of this. And I'm here for the ride. I want to see what the blue team can do and if they can finally build a little bit of momentum in the tournament. So we got Stukov as an early pick. On Curse we have both globals, 3 globals with Brightwing already banned out. And I want to see the Vala lands, first of all. And what main tank is being picked by Gunnars on. What Breeze is going to play here. Because so far, I'm not going to lie, the team has been a little bit disappointing in the way that they perform. I'm not saying they played horrible or anything. They went up against the strong chili donuts, and some of the games were very, very close. But you could see that towards the end of the game, other teams are just currently playing it a bit smoother, a bit better coordinated. And that just makes the difference there at the end of the day. So for Gunnars on, clean victories would be kind of cool. Because even in the first round of the tournament, when we had best of 3 still, they won with a 2-0, but both of the games were a little bit scrappy. And I think this is probably the best word to describe what's currently going on with the blue team. While they have a lot of star power there, a lot of the games they play, once that the matches reach mid and late game, they feel a little bit scrappy and they don't look like that well-oiled machine that you expect when you're looking at the player pool they have. So this is something where they could prove a lot in this series. They're obviously the favorite going into it, just simply because of the star power that they have in their lineup. But I would really like to have some clean wins by them here. Inting for Ruby, on the other hand, they've been a team for a long time now that has thrown a wrench or two into the machinery of the other team. And if they can do that again and clog up those cogwheels a little bit, that might be even giving them a win or two? I don't know. We'll see, guys. But you shouldn't count out Inting for Ruby. Inting for Ruby is one of those teams that might not necessarily be a team that you would put into the top 4 of Europe, but it's always a team that on a good day can cause a bit of an upset. So they got Lunara, they got Hogger, and Cursed Hollow as the first map. We got now Breeze on Tyrael and Poik on Maiev for the second time. I mean, Ruby on Blaze and Breeze on Tyrael, that's already the double layer of defense that we've seen in so many HTC games back in the day. The team around ADRD and Mopsio started with all of that at some of the offline events, the Western Clash, and it was honestly pretty impactful what they pulled off back then. You have your Sanctification, you have your Bunker, and if you layer that properly, that's a lot of defensive tools during a big team fight. Gul'dan gets locked in for main, and we got Deathwing, first time in the playoffs for Baby Houdini. Guys, Cursed Hollow, map number 1 in the best of 5 in the losers bracket of the X Cup Fall playoffs. So let's go, Gunnars on against Inting for Ruby. Game number 1, Gunnars on against Inting for Ruby. Left side of the map, we got Gul'dan, Mene back on his mages. Ruby on Blaze and Breeze on Tyrael, the double layer of defense, with Poik on Maiev trying to capitalize on it. Smexy playing Uther for the team. And on the right side of the map, Fish on Mei. We got Mind Talk on Hogger. Gunnars subbing in today with Stukov. We got Hat on Lunara and Baby Houdini on Deathwing. Let's get the show on the road, everybody. Which team will drop out of the tournament? Which team is able to move on to the next round of the losers bracket? So, time to shine. Level 1 for Deathwing, not taken just yet, but we already got for Blaze our Neural Stim Pack and the Echoed Corruption as usual for our boy Gul'dan. So, Ruinous Affliction on level 16 is going to kick in for him. Everybody's playing it a little bit safe here in the middle of the map for now. That's a dragon, you know, not that chicken skin that makes him look like a turkey. I mean, I know it's Thanksgiving and everything, but you don't want your Deathwing to look like a turkey. If you go for a skin like this one that makes him look like a majestic dragon, that's exactly what we're talking about. But yeah, Poik at the same time, he's getting poked down by Bambi a little bit. Hadder's just hopping around over here. And yeah, time to party. Blue team still has a few things to prove, I think. And they can start by taking down Inting for Ruby, but the red team is always out for another upset, and they could cause one right here. We have Lunaro working on the Siege Giants, 1 minute mark kicks in, the camps spawn all over the map with the exception of the bosses, obviously, that will grace us with their presence at 5 minutes into the game. But Smexy and Poik are also taking the boys at the top left down. Down here, Mena still trying to get a few more hits together. And Baby Houdini is already playing this super safe, especially for someone that can't even be stunned. So yeah, but yeah, that hits hard. That does a lot of work. So for now, Gunnar and Mind Talk, they're doing their thing, grabbing another camp. Everybody's just making the moves throughout the map. Nobody's going for big aggressive plays yet. We didn't see anyone invade. Nobody was trying to get big kills here. Everybody's just absolutely content to just sit tight, get the camps, wait for the first tribute to spawn that will be announced in 30 seconds, and try and time the camps around that a little bit. So yeah, pretty easy and smooth path into the game for them. Now, obviously, with the push here in the middle, they timed the camp a little bit differently so that it can help with the defense and then push this out while the tribute is up. That gives them, theoretically, a slight advantage, but they also suffer some damage on both of the towers. Might even lose both of them. But they try to go for the kill down here, and there's the stun. May, careful. Fish needs to be really, really careful as he's trying to disengage. Gunnar keeping him alive, too. We still have Hogger up at the top, and the tribute is spawning bot side for the first time now. So, with the tribute spawning, we still have Mene getting a few more stacks together. He's sitting at 11 stacks that he got against Baby Houdini. Hitbox on Deathwing obviously helps with that. A little bit more pressure in the middle of the map now as they're starting to use their own camp to take some of these towers down. And Poik is able to already annihilate one of them. Second one will fall victim to the archers in the back. So yeah, structural damage is definitely there. But it's time for tribute number 1. May is already on her way. Baby Houdini. I have never understood how a fucking dragon can sit in a tiny bush like this and everybody's like, I can't see it. It's like, seriously? Like, what does that dragon do? Does he hunch? Does he prone somehow? Or just like simply lie on the ground and then in the grass? Like, how the fuck does that work? Have you seen that thing? How is that thing able to hide in here? I mean, seriously? This is like the scary movie shit when the guy sits behind the curtain and you see the shoes. If you can't see a tail or a wing at least, then I don't know what's going on. All of these heroes in the Nexus are just blind. I mean, what the hell? Breeze gets interrupted over here as Deathwing takes to the skies, but it also allows Mene to bully that wall at the bot lane a bit further. That's exactly what he's doing. Middle of the map, Poik and Wooby currently... Oh, they might even get a kill here with Smexy moving in. Yep, stun after stun. I was just about to say they're starting to attack Stukov a bit, but I didn't expect them to get a kill. But with Smexy moving in, that's definitely a big opportunity. So Mind Talk gets attacked now too, trying to poke away, and he gets out. But the tribute will now be channeled by the Smex Master. Here we go. Yep, that it is. They get an easy channel on tribute number 1. A little bit of damage at the bot lane is already explained earlier, especially Gul'dan. Siege damage should actually be pretty good now. Yeah, 50,000. I think we can call that pretty good. I think that is, yeah, that fits the bill. 50,000 is pretty much doubling what Lunara currently has. So, good for him. And as you can see, Fountain is taken down. And yeah, that thing is totally exposed. Mane just needs to be careful that he double checks what's happening in that bush at some point, or he might even die. Deathwing and Stukov are both trying to go for the play here. Yeah, not like this. Bye-bye. He could get... Ah, do you see that? Galgulnar, he would have died to the damage over time, but he got the heal through. So yeah, is able to make his way out. Still, That is the first kill for Inting for Ruby. Nicely done. They get the kill, and we're waiting for the level 10 abilities to now kick in as the second tribute spawns on the map. And they might even grab this one. Yeah, nah, Minddog is there. Minddog is there, and he interrupts. Both teams now with level 10s. Thornwood Vines, Divine Shield. Mei with the Ice Wall. And then again, what are we going to get? Come on, Blaze. That's a bunker. Stop teasing like this. We're not going to get combustion here. No, 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 no. Especially not from Whoopi. So, yeah, we get the disc as usual for Maiev. Ooh, good tether against Mei. But she is able to get out. Deathwing is still at the bot lane. And the problem for the blue team is that Blaze has to rotate down because there's a Siege Giant camp together with him. So they would lose a lot of structures here. Are they really giving this up? Okay, thank God. For just a second, I thought that they would actually give them the tribute. That would have been a total disaster. So, down here, we have the attack after the disc against Pogga. He's ping-ponging around left, right, but they can't get the kill here. Another play for Breeze. He still has Sanctification. He could use Sanctification here. They're trying to go for a Tether and Deathwing. That didn't work either. Chasing Gul'dan, and Mena dies once again. The second kill against him. Breeze still interrupting, and Whoopi is at the bot lane and getting mad value for the team as he's slowly but steadily starting to take down that fort. And eventually, Inting for Ruby has to back off and just say like, alright, whatever. I like that they're going for the boss though, so they're trying to delay on the tribute and go for the boss instead. Breeze sniffs it out, so this is starting to be a bit of an awkward position. Are they trying to make a play for boss? Are they going for tribute? Can they do both? Whoopi is still at the bot lane, so he's just simply going for it. They cheese the tribute with the Divine Shield. Love it. Absolutely love it. They're like, yeah, we're not going to give them all that much. So they use the Divine Shield to allow him to channel the tribute. So 2 tributes to 0. At the same time, we have Whoopi taking down the bottom fort. And now with the boss at the top side, Inting for Ruby is going to try to do the same thing. Now, if you think about it, even if the boss now and the push that we are seeing by the red team is able to take the fort down, they're just trading structures here. Even if that happens. Ice Wall comes out. Good for them. Can they get the kill, though? Poig is able to get away. And Baby Houdini does a bit of damage, but the barbecue attempt was not too successful. And hello? I mean, that is starting... He could have even pushed this further. I'm talking about pushing it. Look at Mena. He's now moving into the middle with a camp. So yes, the top fort has fallen, but there's just damage all over the place. Inting for Ruby has to react to this eventually, and their fort is already taking damage as we speak. Mena can move in, gets a few more hits over to the Fleabag, so now he's sitting at 30 stacks on the level 1, and the next tribute is spawning, and obviously this is a potential curse tribute. If Gunnars on takes it, they are cursing the opponent right here. We got 30 stacks. Deathwing gets attacked. Everybody is already collapsing down towards the bottom of the map where the tribute is spawning. But it seems like they're going to get this one for free. And Inting for Ruby is making a play for boss number 2. Now Breeze sniffs that out. He's still 27 seconds away from getting his Sanctification back. So if it comes to a fight here, he can't use it. They would still be able to rely on Bunker, but that's about it. Breeze will have to move out here. He's not going to interrupt that. Especially with Gul'nar coming straight in with a low blow and saying, alright buddy, if you want to come in for it, then be my guest. But you're going to die a painful death if you're trying to jump into this. So yeah, Lurking Arm would have definitely taken him out there. 2 kills to 1. Inting for Ruby. They are fighting back. Again, I like these guys. They're doing a great job here fighting back. Whoopi the entire time side laning. He's now sitting at 87,000 siege damage. Mena is battling it out with him for the top number. 88 and 87,000. Both of them just side laning hard throughout the game. But now we have finally an approach by Gunnars and Gul'nar. By Gunnars on for the bottom boss. Gul'nar and his boys are going for the siege giants instead. So they're sitting on the right side. They have a lead in experience, by the way. But with this boss taken, that one's gonna go for the keep. And a tribute is spawning in 28 seconds, so the timing here is perfect. The scout comes too late. Red team can't do anything about this. Now the boss is marching through the bot lane. I suppose that Maiev is gonna try and take those siege giants out. Or at least get some damage in. Yep, takes the minion wave down. So now boss and camp are gonna take care of that. Deathwing is moving down, and they are trying to get access to the tribute. Oh, Divine Shield early on Mene. Ice Wall is hitting too. They're going to try and go for the channel here. Deathwing is joining the fun, which means he cannot defend the bot lane. He's not defending a bot lane against the boss. 10 minutes in, the boss isn't hurting too much yet, but it's definitely going to do some damage and open the wall up. So now it's Lunara that moves back out. First tower is already gone, but if they don't get the tribute, it's going to be a curse. And I think they accept. No, they're not. They have Deathwing. They have Deathwing and they start interrupting. But there is still a lot of space created for Gunnars on, and there it is. They use the Divine Shield again. Divine Shield used once more to complete the channel. Deathwing couldn't interrupt, and now the red team is cursed. Red team is cursed, and they're losing at least the fort in the middle of the map. Quest is also nearly completed for Mene now as he locks in his level 16 talent. He has the Ruinous Affliction, and therefore the synergy between the talents. Both of the teams on 16. And 11 minutes in, the bot lane gets attacked again. And oh boy, they need to be careful. Someone needs to deal with this or this keep is going to suffer. Deathwing is at the top trying to keep the fort in play. But everyone else on the blue team side is now pressuring the middle of the map, trying to open up another alleyway towards a keep. Hat poking as much as he can, missing out here. And another minion wave moving down to the bottom of the map as the keep is already starting to take some damage. Poig is attempting to chip in a little bit more. They're keeping everybody busy here and forcing the bunker out of Mubi. But that fight isn't over by any means. And the keep at the bot lane is suffering more and more damage as another minion wave has pushed in. And Poig is trying to ensure that the keep falls. They barely miss out on that, but if they use Sanctification here, they can definitely guarantee that they're going to get it. Apparently they're not that eager. It's so close though. It's really close. They could have gone for a Sanctification or just simply sacrifice Tyrael and say, okay, we're going to blow him up. And then use the explosion to take this down. They decided against it. They can always try to push again. And let's not forget that if they are able to take another boss here later, this one is going to move straight for keep and core. And they're already trying to trap Deathwing. Uh-oh, Mene with tons of damage here. And they're gonna get him, aren't they? Yep, a little bit of body blocking. And baby Houdini turns into bye-bye Houdini. He's down, and so is the keep. And wait, what? Are they going core? Seriously? They are the boss and they are hearthstoning away as we speak, but the core is falling and it's falling quickly. Sanctification is getting used. Guys, they are just right-clicking the shit out of it. Horrify is in to buy them a little bit more time. The bunker gets used too. They're gonna win this right here, right now. 13 minutes in. Gunnars on with a big boy call. They take game number 1 on Cursed Hollow. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2! I mean, Infernal Shrines, map number 2 everybody. Gunnars on with a call towards the end of game number 1. I mean, kudos to them. They just simply bodied them. I looked at the keep and I was like, yeah, they're gonna get the keep now. And then all of a sudden they're just like, you know what? We have a bunker, we have Sanctification, and we got a Horrify. You guys are dead. So, big whoopee call apparently there. And that guarantees them the lead in the best of 5 series. I think Inting for Ruby got caught off guard a bit too. They were like, that can't work, can it? And then they came in, tried to defend against it, and just couldn't. So, easy win for Gunnars on. And it's still weird to me. I can't be the only one that sits here and cannot judge how good this team is. I mean, please, I can't be the only one. At this point, I honestly feel like I'm talking crazy, and everybody else is just looking at me like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'm just looking at the games they've played in this tournament. Against Chili Donuts, they went to the mid game, and once that we're level 12, they lose control of the game, the momentum turns against them, every time. In the first round of the tournaments, they nearly lost 2 maps and flipped them just at the end against teams that they should dominate. Against Inting for Ruby on map number 1, it's an absolutely even game for most of it, with a slight advantage for Gunnars on. And then they make one call and win the game. And I'm always sitting here and I'm just like, Why can't you make it easy for me at least once, dominate a game, and just show from start to finish perfect execution of combos, and check that out? It's just like... I really don't know. I feel like I'm talking crazy, but I hope that there's someone out there that understands a little bit what I mean when I say that it is very difficult for me to judge the actual power level of Gunnars on. It's crazy. Fish, by the way, with the early Uther. I'm a bit confused by that Hogger pick. I mean, if you pick Hogger in that situation, you're pretty much signaling that you're not planning on taking Vala. You're going for double support. You pick Uther early on, which is pretty much what Fish does whenever he gets a chance. But then you pick Hogger, and you're pretty much begging your opponent to go and ban or pick Vala. I mean... interesting. So I suppose they want to go for someone that they can nano boost, which is why Malthael got banned out. Uther, Anna, Malthael, by the way, is dirty. It is dirty, dirty, dirty. If you try that in a quick match or in Storm League, have fun with it. Because what you're going to do is you're nano boosting Malthael. Once that he gets focused, you pop a Divine Shield on that bad boy. And he with Tormented Souls just rips the opponent apart. And Infernal Shrines one's one of the best maps for that strategy. But again, I'm coming back to the same point. Why the fuck would you pick Hogger instead of Malthael in that situation if that was your goal? I don't know. Harrigan and Blaze on the other side, together with Muradin and Anduin. Harrigan goes deep, Blaze goes deep, and they overextend a little bit. Smexy can always pull them back in. Can go for the light bomb as well, of course. Maybe with Harrigan. What's mainly gonna play? Last time we played Jaina on this map. Could still do that, especially with the stuns that we are now seeing. Are we gonna get that Vala though now? Yeah, there she is. That's also not right. You shouldn't be able to pick a Vala after you pick the double support towards the end of the draft. Alright. I'll stop. Infernal Shrines. Last pick. Main. Is it going to be a Jaina? It's likely going to be a mage. Jaina. Another Gul'dan. The guys haven't played that much. Neither is Jaina. And there's Genji. Light Bomb with Anduin. They go for the Genji variation. Me likey. Yeah, Infernal Shrines, map number 2. So, Inting for Ruby, down one map in the best of 5 series here in the losers bracket. Let's go, guys. X-Cup playoffs. X-Cup fall playoffs continue. Infernal Shrines, map number 2. Gunnars on in the lead against Inting for Ruby. And on the left side, we got Mena on Genji. We got Breeze on Muradin, Smexy on Anduin, Wooby on Blaze, and Poik on Kerrigan. Right side of the map, Inting for Ruby. They're playing it out with Fish on Uther and Galguna on Anna. The double support for Vala is there. And she goes for Fire at Will. So no auto attack style this time. Don't want to go for the Gambit. Instead, we have them with multi-shot. Also very good on Infernal Shrines, of course. Mindhogger's playing Hogger. And we got Baby Houdini on Dehaka. Yeah, again, you don't have to go auto attack with Vala if you're going for a double support. They just generally like to play Uther as a main tank. So they are now playing the style that was very popular before the auto attack talent was changed. Just trying to carpet the shrines every time with AoE and get the damage in. But here comes the stuns and Hogger hogging his way out as we have the bit of a brawl. Obviously, it will change the way that Gunnars on approaches this game too. They would very likely not have gone for that brawl that you just saw in the mid lane if Vala went for an auto attack build. Simply because you don't want to give Vala the opportunity to stack for free. You want to make those finds really count, and you're trying to limit the engagements to the ones that are really meaningful and where you think you have a chance of actually winning them, and don't just look for opportunities. Because if you give Vala too many chances to stack the auto attacks, then in the late game you're really gonna suffer. So they're gonna go for a much more aggressive style now in an attempt to maybe, you know, poke them down a little bit, annoy them, slow down the progress. In an ideal world, get a kill somewhere, and then try and steal maybe a camp away. Vala will stack her multi-shot too, but yeah, this is going to be mainly for the shrines, and we'll see what they can do with this one. But yeah, right now we got with level 1 abilities the new habits for Blaze, who is working on the Unstoppable. In addition to that, we have Grenade opening with the contact healing for Anna. And topside, Baby Houdini is now slowly walking out there. Bumblebee skin. And yep, surprisingly good movie actually. One of the better Transformer movies. Not this Michael Bay bullshit where everything just explodes and you halfway through the movie don't know anymore who's fighting whom and why shit is exploding. Bumblebee was kind of fine, wasn't perfect. One or two characters, if you watch the movie, you know which ones were totally useless and didn't contribute anything to the story. But generally speaking, definitely better than expected, so yeah, there's that. If you are into sci-fi stuff though, watch The Expanse. Just the other day, I once again was shocked to find out that a lot of people have still not watched it. If you got Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free, check it out. Read the books! That would be even better. Do me a favor and read the books first, but it's a very, very good book adaptation. And probably the best sci-fi series that is currently out there, so definitely make sure that you watch that. Expanse, Amazon Prime, read the books first, thank me later. No kills so far in the game, but we have the cams now taken. Shrine is activating another 10 seconds, so it's time to prep for all of that and send the cams underway towards the top. And yes, here we go. Let's see which team walks away with the first Punisher. Everybody will still keep some of their side laners in action because they want to get level 7 first. That's how this plays out usually. By the way, Muradin went for the Reverberation on level 4, so goes for more damage right here. And of course, Vala with the Arsenal. This is really where the Vala build shines. If you're going for multi-shot, this is why you're playing this on Infernal Shrines in the first place. You're getting mad value every time you're fighting here. You're getting damage in against those minions, you're getting damage in against the opponent's heroes. So yeah, huge win to have Vala with this. And it is pretty awesome. But yeah, as it stands, Kerrigan, she's doing fairly well here. We also have now with level 7 for Genji, the Augmented Guard. Both teams lock in the extra talent, which now gives us also the Hot Pursuit for Vala. Hogach. I mean, this honestly, this is so stupid, it's never going to amaze me. It's like, it's just incredible. But Hogga is just doing Hogga things. So ending for Ruby, they lock in the first objective. As we had the blue team getting a bit more experience and spreading out further onto the lanes. So now they have to go for a good defense at the bottom of the map and try to play this out. But yep, there we have it. Ruby, this is obviously a little bit tricky because it's a Frozen Punisher too. This is the strongest one that we have in the game right now. At least it should always allow you to get some damage out. But since they only have 3 heroes at the bot lane, they gotta be a bit more cautious, so they don't even take a tower down. This was probably the most useless Punisher that I've seen in a while. They haven't really gotten anything on the side lanes either, so now that the Punisher is done, there's... I mean, what did this thing even do? Not much! They didn't take a tower down. I'm like, what? So the leading experience still goes to the Gunnars on. There's no structural advantage either. So that Punisher was pretty useless. Scratched the buildings a little bit, and that was about it. But yeah. Either way, now they're trying to go for Whoopi here. That's not going to work out for them either. So as time continues, I guess we're going to look more towards level 10. But it's a bit amazing to me that we're 5 minutes in and past the first objective, and we haven't seen the tower destroyed. That's pretty special. Now, we still have in the middle, of course, that combo with Kerrigan. Poik Kerrigan is going to be interesting for all of this. They have a lot of CC. If it comes to a big team fight and they're able to stack the stuns, Jesus, can they lock them down. That's where Uther with the Divine Shield, with also the Hand of Protection, is going to become super important. Heroic ability is obviously Light Bomb for Genji, so we're going to get that. I don't think we're going to see big surprises on the side of Inting for Ruby either. There's the Shockwave, Strafe, can boost that completely. And Uther, anything else but a Divine Shield would surprise me. Divine Storm is amazing, don't get me wrong. That additional stun is just great. But if you're going up against this much stun, and you want to keep Vala, for example, alive, and help her, for example, to get the full strafe through, then you want to have Divine Shield. And that's exactly what they were going for. But here comes potentially the first tier attack. Oh, did he just use Shockwave? Oh, that didn't hit anything, did it now? So yeah, Genji just jumped away from it, so that cooldown did nothing. 6.5 minutes in, not a single kill yet. They go for Mind Talk again. Breeze, yeah, hits that Stormbolt against the minion. I mean, rumor has it that Breeze wanted to hit Hogger, but that's obviously not the truth. Breeze really wanted that minion. That minion, you know, that insulted him earlier. There was a little bit of an exchange. It got pretty heated. And so Breeze was just trying to show him who's boss. Stormbolts the minion. And then afterwards they kill Hogger. Priorities are important these days. And they just got theirs right. Talking about priorities. Oh, goodbye, Vala. Yeah, I feel a little bit sorry for her. But damn. Okay, we're going to take another look at this. Check this out. I mean, poor girl. Look at this. So they come in here at the side. Then they lock her in. Breeze comes from the other side of the gate. Hits the Stormbolt. And Vala doesn't even know what happens. Just dies right there. Well, I was just sitting there. I was like, what the fuck? That was exactly the kind of coordination that I was talking about earlier when I said I want to see them really go for it. And just lock some targets down. So nice. That's exactly it. Now, the top 4 has already taken damage, and the fountain is also gone, so no sustain on the lane. They have the lead on the objective too, and they got level 13. Pretty much all of the cards are stacked in favor of Gunnars on. And I'm surprised that Inting for Ruby thinks it's a great idea to fight into this in the first place. They're trying to go for Mirrodin here. Strafe is already being used, and here comes the Light Bomb with Genji. And they're going for the combo with Kerrigan. And Genji is just getting tons of damage out, but double support is, of course, a beautiful thing to have. So, yep, everybody is low, but they still can sustain themselves through it. The problem is they're all running out of mana. And the Arcane Punisher has been taken in the meantime. So now with 2 kills to 0 and level 13 in their hands, that top 4 will face a brutal onslaught of the blue team that is just not... I mean, they can't stop this one. It's just not happening. So for now, we have them maybe even taking away the camp. It's the Haka that now moves down to the bottom of the map in an attempt to lock in some extra experience for them. The fort is already gone. They're going for the camp as expected. And that should at least open up the keep wall. I mean, that's the least that should happen here. If they push with it, which apparently they decide not to do because they're opening up the mid lane instead, which is also fine. So they're spreading out on 2 lanes for the time being. And, well, there we go. This could still open the top lane up. Yep, with the minion wave that just came in. They're trying to go for the team fight instead, now that they have level 13. Here's the move, Strafe again, and a nice pull, Light Bomb, and they go for that backline. Vala needs to vault away, another stun combo. Oh yeah, Poik with the double hit right here, the Kerrigan combo hits. Here comes the birdie. Blaze with the engage and the big hit. They get 1 kill. They get 2 kills. They look for number 3. But this time Kerrigan isn't able to follow up on it. The top lane is still getting pressured. The keep might even get damaged. 4 kills to 0. And this is now much cleaner than anything we've seen from Gunnars on thus far. The keep slowly falling. Well, it's actually not falling all that slowly. It's at 50%. And it is falling pretty quickly here. So, yeah, the fort in the mid lane obviously also getting destroyed. This one doesn't have a chance. And they are heavily ahead now. 1.5 levels ahead. Fort, as you can see, down to... let's make it 25%. Maybe a little bit more than that. And at the bot lane, they're already working on the next lane too. Which is, incidentally, also the lane where the next objective is going to spawn. So yeah, here we go. They are starting to pressure and they're starting to pull ahead. And they are going to get level 16 now. And Baby Houdini kind of shock... Oh, that is a good shockwave. Now we're talking. Kerrigan is dead. Kerrigan is down. That was a great shockwave. The Haka came in a little bit too early maybe even. And then Hogger just said, you know what boys, I'm going to set this one up. Don't you worry. Jet propulsion, so far so good. And they have to push them back. Nano boosted Vala with 30,000 damage so far. And Anduin is dead too. Poor Anduin. Everybody is picking on him. Because he sucks so much. No, he actually doesn't. It's actually a nice character. But I have Anduin PTSD. It's a real thing. Happens when you watch too many World of Warcraft trailers because you're forced at events to watch them. For the Alliance! Shut the fuck up. So, there we go. 16 versus 16. Inting for Ruby. Trying to bring it back here. And take maybe a fort down. Now, they suffered a lot in the last few minutes, so it's time for payback. So, there we go. Breeze in the back. And Uther got murdered. They go for Granny too. They go for all the old geezers. Later, boomers. 1 down, 2 down, and Granny is also dead. Breeze is able to hop out. Seems like the Haka might not make it either, especially now that Genji has committed to his ult too. But the Stormbolt misses. The Carrigan combo doesn't. There it is. Easy kills. Well done. Okay, so 7 kills to 2. Shrine is active. Yeah, the timing of that fight was really good for Gunnars. Or it was pretty shitty for Inting for Ruby. If I would have to... I mean, honestly, if I would have to, like, narrow the problem of Inting for Ruby down to one thing, it's probably that their timing always sucks. Inting for Ruby had games where they had more kills than the opponent, were always able to take team fights, but every single time that an objective approached, they lost out and a few of their heroes got killed. So, yeah, their timing is oftentimes unfortunate, to put it mildly. In this case, it of course is pretty horrific because that objective is a freebie for Gunnars on. But they might get a kill here. Nice drag. Well done by Baby Houdini. Shockwave, Avatar, Isolation. They put everything on Muradin. Everything. And they can kill him finally. Blaze wasn't there. That was a 5 versus 4, by the way. There was a 5 versus 4 where they finally killed 2. But if Blaze would have been in that fight, that might have been a different story. And holy shit, that Punisher wants a piece of the action, doesn't he? He nearly was able to take one of them down. Can you imagine if Carrigan would have lived when the Punisher made that triple jump happen? Yeah, so 5 kills to 7. I love that Inting for Ruby is really just fighting tooth and nail to claw their way back into this game. But there is still a lead here for Gunnars on. And Mr. Gunnarsson himself, Whoopi, he hasn't died yet. He's the only one that hasn't died yet. Carrigan with 2 deaths. Vala has gone down twice. 49,000 on her side. Yeah. Mindtalk is going for the next camp over here, so let's see what we're going to get with that. Can they push towards the tower? Yeah. I mean, it's amazing to me that this thing hasn't even lost a single tower yet. They're trying to open those lanes up. And maybe when they push with the Haka topside and they have the camp too, they can use the Shaman camp to take that fort down, or at least do a little bit of damage. Solo lane Uther. Show that minions of spot, come on. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Come on, boy. Hit him hard with that axe. And also who's gonna hit hard is Hoga. Hoga got hit hard and Hoga went down. And all of a sudden, the situation has completely turned again. Mena with Genji, he's getting fully healed again. We have already Whoopi bot side dealing with the fort, and they're closing in on level 20. Yeah, the timing is still a bit unfortunate here. So, yeah, off we go. Next objective spawns in the middle of the map, so the situation is there's still a fountain for the blue team. Red team has nothing. Carrigan is dealing with the top. Yeah. 25 seconds on... Again, they're going to be back with level 20. They're going to be in a decent spot there. You're going to even tell us in 5 versus 5. So it could be worse. Dragon becomes me. No, by the way, this is how this works. If you are not a dragon, you want to be a dragon. Okay? That's why he wins for Dragon becomes me. Okay? He wants to be a dragon. So this Chromie bullshit just doesn't fly with me. Shut up. No respectable dragon would voluntarily take that form. That's just not a thing. If you're not a dragon, you want to be a dragon, not the other way around. Fish, by the way, he would like to be a dragon, because if he's a dragon, then maybe he can survive here. But he's Uther. So he dies. And that is another great kill at a perfect opportunity time, because now they can go for the keep at the top. That's exactly how this works. There's a strafe. Good save by Smexy once again. A light bomb. But no follow-up. Had actually saw that one coming and vaulted away immediately, so good on him. That was a good reaction. But I still don't think that Keep has a chance. Keep gets taken down right there. Bye-bye. Yeah, level 20 is now in, and that gives us redemption. Do you know how pissed Uther is that he died just a few seconds before he had redemption? That would have been so much better for him. So, yeah. Now with that, we got the Farflight Quiver, we got no control. The Nano Infusion and the Contagion. And with this also the inner fire. I mean, inner fire, Anduin, like, I don't know. When I talk about, you know, emotions and inner fire, like the last person that comes to mind is Anduin. I mean, every single time that I see the guy in the trailer, he looks to me like he's gonna ask for permission before he can actually make a battle speech. Can I say something? For the Alliance, not the Alliance, you know? So what about inner fire? Varian has enough fire. Daddy has some enough fire, you know? Yelling the entire time with the Colossus Smash. That boy that goes for it. Oh, der Hacker! Hello? I mean, that was a quickie there. Baby Houdini with the disappearance act. 1 second he's there, the next one he's gone. So now we have still a 4 versus 5. They go for Uther, they take him down 2. Oh my god. Like, that ping pong is not helping him either. Uther is already dead. I mean, don't worry, he's gonna come back to die again. Veni Vidi BG, he came, he saw, and he died once more. Here's the jump, there's the stun, and goodbye Uther. It was nice knowing you. You tried and you tried twice, but holy shit. They are getting wrecked right now. Gunnars on is crushing this in the late game. And Inting for Ruby, I don't know. Like, they always are able to just, like, you know, they establish that one presence in the game. They make the right moves. They go to level 20. They are finally with 5 on the map. And then Dehaka just gets blown up within a second. So good for Gunnars on. Inting for Ruby is trying. They're doing their best here. But the blue team just a bit too strong for now. Punisher with a big damage right here. They're starting to move in. The core is falling. 13 kills, 2-7. They're doing fantastic. Good on Gunnars on, but they're actually losing a couple. So Muradin and the Punisher. Yeah, the catapults are going to finish it, aren't they? Yeah, they are. GG. A 2-0 lead for Gunnars on against Inting for Ruby here in the losers bracket. Game number 3, Tomb the Spider Queen. The 2-0 lead for Gunnars on, everybody, against Inting for Ruby. Well, the Rubies, they're going to try and put a point onto the board here at least. For them, obviously, it was already a success getting here. I mean, these guys have been working hard to make it into the playoffs, and they were able to advance to the current round, so kudos to them. Good effort. As we're heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen, we immediately have a ban on Uther. You ban Uther against the fish. The fish is going to pick Uther when he can. But last game, Gunnars on definitely in some of these moments playing exactly the way that we were hoping for the entire time. Very coordinated, snappy decisions, good calls as well. And their shot calling was never really in doubt here. They showed that on the first day already, and game number 1, of course, showed that once again very clearly. Main is Gul'dan is banned out, a bit of a respect ban against him, and also Junkrat as usual. So he's gone too. And with that, what is the final ban here? They go for Blaze. On the one hand, I can understand it. On the other hand, it always feels to me that any ban against Ruby is a wasted ban, because he just doesn't care. So yes, you dodge out the stuns, but if he goes for Urel, you're still in trouble. So that's the next one. Stukov first pick for Smexy this time. I wonder if they are going to go for a Vala pick here. They could definitely play a double support Vala. Maybe even Stukov, Zarya or something else, and try and get Vala into play. Unless, of course, Inting for Ruby picks it away from them. And we get a Leo and Tassadar. I shall suffer. Alright, so the janitor's in the house. Okay. I mean, the Leo pick I definitely get. Tassadar this early in the draft? Not really. Like, for me personally, it's always, if you have a hero that is not going to be contested, pick him a little bit later and take something else that might be picked by your opponent. But with Tassadar now claimed, obviously, Gunnars on, they know what they're facing off against, at least on the damage side a bit, and can now make their own choice. And there's Vala and there's Zarya, so exactly the lineup that they just talked about a second ago. That's going to be real powerful to support Poik with the auto-attack build, which I still assume we're going to get here, given what they're running. And you can establish an insanely strong 4-man with this, and then have Wooby on Urel, for example. Have him control the side lane. I mean, hell, even Dehaka would work for him here. So, yeah. They could do a ton. And it's tricky for Inting for Ruby. And Nubarak, I honestly don't even think that they're going to go for a Nubarak here. Breeze could go... I mean, Jojo, Diablo, self-sustain, a little bit of wave clear, all of that would work for them right now. And they played strategies like this in the past, where they just keep pushing. They have a 4-man that excels, and they just keep going for it. And that is definitely a good start if you're trying to set something like that up. So yeah, we got a very, very nice start for the blue team. The boys on the side of Inting for Ruby now have to show what their thought process is here. They started with Leo Tacita, but how does this draft come together for them now? They go for Malfurion and they got Maiev. Okay. Yeah, so tether into a root would definitely work, but then you got Mene with his... I mean, this gets a little bit difficult because you have, first of all, if Stukov isn't the target, then you immediately will see a Lurking Arm coming out whenever Mayentok is going to try and make that play with Gunnar. And besides that, the shield from Zarya alone is going to help you a lot. Now, if Breeze doesn't want to go for Wave Clear or anything, he can also go for Garrosh again, which they did on Battlefield of Eternity. And he does, so they have the speed barrier on level 4 again to help Garrosh to be even more aggressive. And Wooby is going for Chen. So yeah, this can escalate quickly. They can build so much momentum with this. It's fairly scary. How is Fish gonna react here now? They're going Malthael, oh boy. I mean, we'll see. Tomb of the Spider Queen, potentially the last map of the series, guys. Let's go. Gunnars on against Inting for Ruby. Let's make it happen. A 2-0 lead for Gunnars on. We're heading into map 3, Tomb of the Spider Queen. And the chance for the blue team to move on to the next round of the losers bracket here at the X-Cup Fall Playoffs. Main on Zarya, we got Breeze on Garrosh, we got Smexy on Stukov. And, well, as you can see already, Poik on Vala with the auto-attack setup. We got Wooby on Chen. And to the right side of the map, Inting for Ruby themselves with Hat on Tacita. They're playing Leoric as a main tank by Fish. Mindtalk on Maiev. We got Malthael played by Baby Houdini. And Gulnar on Malfurion. It's an aggressive lineup. You can definitely play that. You have a triple front line, so to say, with all of your bruisers and side laners here. And it can definitely work, but I think that this could also very quickly lead to disaster if Gunnars on is able to keep Poik alive. And he has a lot of targets that he can stack against here. He can always target Leo. Yeah, exactly. Breeze is going to do that over and over and over again, giving you opportunities to stack. And as long as they keep Vala alive, this is going to be a pretty good game for them. Poik is a bit low here. He doesn't have a double support that helps him. But Zarya is obviously someone that he can always rely upon. And Mane is already rotating with him. It's a very strong 4-man that they run. And at the bottom of the map, we have Chen going off against Malthael. Bit of a battle here still in the middle. But the first blood has already been accomplished, and yes, they are pressuring through the top now. I mean, look at Poik. Poik is just dropping Hat down to 50% HP without any troubles whatsoever, is starting to stack freely against Fish, and is now sitting at 27 stacks already. All of that happening without him even having access to the speed bubble of Zarya. Tacita even dying at the top now, getting caught completely out of guard. And I gotta say that this could be an absolute disaster for Inting for Ruby here. Now for them it's obviously tricky, the situation that they find themselves in, so they're trying some things, but I doubt a bit that this is going to be successful. We already have Mindtalk in trouble. Yeah, Breeze goes for the flip. Maiev. Mindtalk and Baby Houdini both get out, but the pressure is definitely there. So already this early on in the game, the red team is very much pressured. They suffered 2 deaths at the hand of Gunnars on, and Vala is getting her stacks in. She's sitting at 36 at the 2-minute mark. An early level 4 for the red team gives them, of course, a bit of hope. And they're delivering gems very early, which I kind of like. I honestly like it a lot when teams do that and just deliver gems whenever there's an opportunity to do that, so that they are secured and can't lose those. Poik needs to be a bit careful. Again, he doesn't have the double support, and there are definitely some isolation plays that can be made. Electric Fence being one of it. But here comes another play, this time for Mindtalk, and it could be a kill! Ha ha ha, Poik! Mane goes down, Poik survives, and he gets the first 50 stacks together. Also running out of mana a bit. But yeah, Mane was of course greeting for the kill here. Together with Poik, and it didn't work, but they still were able to get the stacks in. And as I keep saying, whenever Vala gets played in a composition like this, it's kind of important that you are killing her. You gotta kill her. If you don't, then you give your opponent an opportunity to murder you in the late game. And that's exactly where Poik is currently trying to head on. 32 gems have been turned in, so again, kudos to Inting for Ruby for playing this as safe as they can. Don't want to waste a lot of time channeling for just 3 gems, but every time you're running into the double digits, that's definitely worth it. Poik with a couple of hits again, straight into the tether, and the save by Breeze. Yeah, it's not only Smexy that can with a lurking arm really assist him when he's in trouble. Breeze can throw him back to safety, Mane can give him the speed bubble, so there's really a lot. But Poik plays this fairly aggressive, and Zarya isn't even here. So there's another play for Mind Talk. Oh, nearly a kill. They go for the fish, and... Oh! Poik! Too greedy, baby. No way. No way. 22 hit points, and that little fucker gets out. Jeez Louise. Yeah, that was a nice save. Oh boy, he is just... that Gambit talent, if you die, you lose 5% attack speed. It's unbelievable to me that he went that deep without Zarya being there. If Zarya is next to him, alright, I get it. But he really just went ham on this one. So, yeah, blame the healer, I say. So, that was kind of crazy. Poik just dodging around. I mean, he's at 82 stacks. So, yeah, he is working it. 2 kills to 1. Red Web Weavers are descending first, but things are going well for them. Down here, that might be a different story, because Wooby is in a lot of trouble. Yeah, there's the lurking arm, but I think the camp is going to get stolen now, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, Baby Houdini. Yeah, he disappears again. Tried to go for the kill against Wooby and maybe even trade here, but he couldn't. So now he lets Vala stack even more. Fish is trying to do his thing as well, but Vala is at 98... 98 stacks. And they are burning down the first Web Weaver. Second one in the middle is also being attacked. The one at the top is going to need a bit more time to get there anyways. But yeah, Poik with another 2 hits can easily get to the second quest reward. And he gets those. So here we have it. More damage for him. He's going to crush them in the late game. If they are not starting to get some kills in against Vala, he is going to absolutely destroy them. This is so dangerous what's happening here. But I also think that if Poik keeps this up, after level 10 connects, he is going to get punished for these plays. For a lot of them. So the Web Weavers haven't really done a whole lot. They took some of the walls down, some of the towers, but they haven't really seriously threatened one of the forts yet. The one at the top has taken most of the damage. Taking a closer look at Vala. Again, we're very early in the game still, but just to give you a bit of an idea. Vala is currently at 24,000 damage. Now, take a look who is second highest. 13,000 for Maiev and for Malthael. So she is nearly doubling that. And that is before level 10. Take another look at this later on in the game when Poik has Manticore. Or when he has Farflight Quiver. This is already getting crazy. Now, he is still playing it really on Razor's edge here. But I gotta admit that if he keeps that stacking speed up, he is going to absolutely murder the late game. They need to take him down. They need to try and get those kills after they hit their own level 10. So we got the Keck, by the way, for isolation plays. And Zarya, in this case, also went for the Graviton Surge. Poik gets the shield and gets away once more. But now we at least have the Tormented Soul. We have also the Disc for Maiev. Another isolation play they can make. Fish with a nice attempt to catch someone here. But it didn't connect properly. And of course the blue team, Gunnars on. They now have Web Weavers on the way too. So they can try and repay Inting for Ruby. And push through some of those walls. Maybe even take a fort down. Poik is still stacking. He's 122 now. 70 stacks for Tacita, who at the top lane is dealing together with Fish and Gulnar with one of the Web Weavers. Bot lane 1v1 between Ruby and Baby Houdini is also continuing. And up here towards the top, they're making a play for Breeze, but I don't think it's going to work out for them. They're isolating him with a fence. Yeah, there's the Keck play, top Keck play in the back as they're trying to go for Gulnar and his Malfurion. Didn't quite work out. But here's the attacks against Leo once more. Poi gets the free hits. Tormented Souls is in. Big push. Nice play against Breeze. And they might get the kill, especially with the Entomb. Beautiful play by Fish towards the end of the fight. Gets the Entomb out again and seals the fate of Garrosh. But Vala is at 153 stacks now. Whoopi dies too. Poi, can he make his way out of the fight? That's the big question here. And yes, he gets away again. 25 gems for him. Now they lost some. They lost a few gems. Chen in particular had, I think, 10 that they weren't able to recover. So Vala is at 160 right now. And at least the red team is fighting. They're a bit ahead in experience now. They have 3 kills to 3. But my worry is still that late game. So if they can now use that second Web Weaver wave to push a little bit further and get some momentum, take some of those forts down, that would really go a long way. If you don't get the Vala kills, at least try and build that momentum up and take some of the structures down so that you have an easier time defending the turn-in points against your opponent. Because if they miss out on that and play on eye level with Gunnars on until the late game hits, I just don't see how they can deal with this. They need some really good buried alives later on, maybe following up on a tether or a disc from IF. If they can control that, then yes, they might have a chance there. But it's not going to be easy. I've just seen too many times what a Vala that hasn't died, hasn't lost any Gambit stacks, and is properly stacked on damage can do in the late game. But this is exactly what the red team needs to do. Take those structures down. Try to play for the early level 13. Use that small window of opportunity to do even more work. They're pushing through the middle. At least the fountain has to fall. Take that down. And they're already attempting to isolate Mena a little bit. So those fences that we're seeing from Het could be good opportunities to create for the team. The fountain is already gone. And by now we have 4 Smexy It Hungers on 13. Now they have taken the first fort of the game down. That's actually not quite true. One has fallen in the middle, of course, as well. But they took the first one the other side down. Poig is still zipping around at the top, using the Death Dealer on level 4. Like a bunny on crack, seriously. But in the middle of the map, there's another fight forced by the red team, forced by Inting for Ruby. Mind Talk tries to get out, and here comes Poig. They're isolating Malfurion, or at least they're trying to. Maiev has already fallen, and Malf is in trouble. He dies too. Poig can now turn in the 34 gems that he's currently holding. They have 64 in total, and it seems like they just stutter step their way towards the top. The Hatred stacks, he still keeps them, and that boss is gonna be a freebie. There's only 3 heroes on the map for Inting for Ruby, so that boss can easily be taken. Down here, Inting for Ruby is at least trying to get some structural damage in, but so far it's not really working out for them too well. Poig and Whoopi, they're sealing the fate of the boss themselves. They don't even need assistance from anyone else. And the Whoopstar, of course, if need be, can always go for the Kek once the cooldown is back up. Yeah, it's a tough game. Vala's at 40,000 damage, nearly doubling what Malthael is doing currently, even with the Tormented Souls. Red team, they need to defend. They also have taken or started to take the camp at the bottom right, thanks to Malthael. And it seems like Gunnars could be in trouble here. He makes his way out, but it's Leo that falls, and Poig just continues the stacks and the fight. And he is gonna hit Manticore in half a level. And that one is, of course, incredible. So yeah, Leoric and Maiev, they need to create opportunities now for Inting for Ruby. They need to create kill opportunities. Maybe even Tassadar, as I said before, with Electric Fence can set something up. Mena is in the middle, trying to get additional experience for the team so that they can use the level 16 advantage to barrel through the top and maybe even take down the keep, and there it is. So 16 is in, 188 stacks now for Vala. Hasn't taken Manticore yet, but will in a moment. Poig is already moving back out and in, taking that tower down, and he's just keeping stacking. He's soon going to be at 200. Baby Udine, the taunt and the kill. And here comes Manticore. 196 stacks for Vala. She's going to hit the 200 any moment for the additional quest reward. Fish is suffering more damage. Oh my god, it is brutal, absolutely brutal. They're sieging up the top lane. That keep might fall eventually. They're just not letting up here. And why would they? They have 50,000 damage on Vala alone, another 20,000 for Zarya, and with all that sustain that they're bringing to the table, they can easily sit at that top lane 6 days to Sunday and take that keep down. First keep of the game gone. And guys, they got 97 gems. 97 gems right there. So we're going to see at least one turn in. They could go for the double. And this is even more free experience at the bottom of the map. They're already more than a level ahead of the red team. But they could extend that lead further now. And they will. Again, Vala short another 3 stacks. The Hatred damage is going to be incredible. She didn't lose any of the bonus attack speed yet. Didn't die once. And of course now at least we have 16 on the other side as well. Both teams with level 16. Full drain, by the way, for our boy Leo. So he's going to try and drain as much as he can. Went into the crushing hope here. But now the web weavers are moving through. Top side, there's not even a keep to defend the lane any longer. At the bottom of the map, the fort is definitely going to fall. Nice play attempt against Mene, but Breeze is there and denies the play instantly. Just shuts it down. Shuts it down right away. Smexy is creating some space for them with the lurking arm here. One after another makes it really difficult for Gunnars on to even move close to all of the action here. And here comes the next quest reward for Vala. She's 50 stacks away from completing the quest completely. Malthael is down. Malfurion is on the run, trying to somehow survive. Yes, everybody jumps on him. And that's the keep straight in the middle. Poik, even without 20, is just murdering the numbers. I mean, look at the damage increasing. He's at 60,000 now. 60,000 damage for him. And half of the damage is going straight onto Siege. He's top Siege in the game as well. He's top hero damage, top Siege, and now they're going for victory here. They want the 3-0, and that was exactly the dominant performance that we've been asking for the entire time by Gunnars on. Now we're getting it. Game 2, Game 3, here we are. The blue team, they will move on to the next round of the losers bracket here at the X Cup Fall Playoffs. And it is going to be a wild ride to see how far Gunnars on can push here. The last day is going to be amazing. Great series here, and congratulations to Gunnars on.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.